For today's travel takeaways, I'm going to give you my opinion on something that a lot of people disparage. I think those people are wrong, and I'm going to tell you why. Welcome to Travel Takeaways, your weekly dose of stories, lessons, and the occasional chaos that makes travel magical. So the thing I am referring to is the cultural village, let's call it. They're called different things in different places, but you'll find them around the world, and a lot of people think that these are just tourist traps and they're silly and not worth the time. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think they're amazing. First of all, people complain that they're just for tourists and that locals don't go there. And that is because locals already know their own culture, right? Like, this is a place and a way for the local people to distill down their culture into its most important parts and show it to you and celebrate it for everyone that comes to the country. So you're not just seeing like the Eiffel Tower in Paris or the gorillas in Rwanda. You're seeing the cultural elements behind it that aren't always readily visible. Second of all, they tend to be really good for the local people. Not only is it like obviously instilling pride in their culture and history, but it's also employing them. A lot of them have local craft markets. A lot of them do things to give back to the community that go beyond what you can normally easily do as a tourist. These places are full of just like normal local people that have something to share. I went to one cultural village in Rwanda, and this was outside of the Gorilla Sanctuary National Park, and Rwanda's really big on conservation and putting a lot of effort into culling poaching in general. So one of the best people at this cultural village was this little tiny old man who had been like head of all the poachers in Rwanda for like 50 years. They convinced him to stop poaching and gave him a job here instead to share the local culture. So not only were we giving back to this small, relatively poor community by supporting the people working there, by buying the local art, by doing all these things, we were directly impacting things like poaching in Rwanda, while we got to learn and have fun doing cultural stuff. So even though a lot of people kind of disparage the cultural village and the other things that don't have the same name but are basically the same thing, I personally love to experience them. I highly encourage everybody to check them out. Even if they seem touristy, they are, but not in the negative way that some touristy things are. So what do you think? Would you try the local cultural villages when you're on your next trip? Let me know in the comments. And as always, stay curious and don't forget the snacks.